So here we go, Lord Kabal. So let's start by talking about his normal attacks. And like I said, they have excellent range now. Like one of the key ones is backlight punch.
Oh wow, yeah.
Reach.
Is that a mid? It looks like a mid as well.
Back punch, down punch is this super far, like start of the round kind of footsie tool, which is like, footsies is like your mid-range game. You're kind of back and forth when you're feeling the opponent out. The first hit is a mid. The second hit's actually a very fast overhead.
Oh wow, it is an overhead.
And he can actually hit confirm it into the dash and go into a combo if he wants. One thing that's notable about that is typically in MK11, we actually don't have that many special moves that go into a combo without amplifying it.
It's an overhead special
Even
cancelable.
Harpoon in this game, he actually has to amplify it to get a combo.
Right.
He doesn't. The dash, he'll always get a combo. So that's kind of a pretty powerful thing about Kabal, a really good option.
Holy
And
shit.
you can just catch people all day with it, just like classic
Of course,
Kabal.
just like
He
classic
was
Kabal.
top tier,
Another really
and
good
usually when
normal
a
is
hero's
4-2-2-4,
top tier,
which
they're always top
starts with
tier
these
in
over-
fucking
these,
games what they
mids,
go into.
And he ends in an overhead, and he has low attacks that you can use to mix it up if you want. So that's kind of a good like up close.
Splat.
Yeah, and that also goes to a crushing blow we can talk about later.
Okay.
Another one is 3-2, which is kind of like your Punisher string. Like you block Sub-Zero,
It's got the fastest
Slide,
startup.
Scorpions, Harpoon, and then you can actually, again, juggle them and go into
Damn.
Classic Kabal.
Now, here's what I want to just do a little. I noticed something.
This guy's
that I
looking
did
strong,
too.
man.
So as you know, like when you create your own
7-3
character,
is
you can
his.
name what you've done it.
He's
You
literally going to
called
say it.
this 7-3.
Yes. That's
As
a reference to a
I know.
previous game that I'm going to get to, and that it basically is a warning to people playing him. I'm very, very strong.
I'm very, very strong.
Yeah, beware. And I made this Kabal, this loadout on purpose.
The proper
Guys,
plug,
that's
thank you for the
low
5 month. You get to keep Kabal's hand.
Yeah.
Click here,
I
thank
mean,
you.
it's
That's
not
an
a big
opportunity.
deal.
I can't fucking wait for this game, man.
Thanks, Tyler, for killing the bit.
My bad.
So the final normal I'd like to talk about is my personal favorite with Kabal. It's his forward 4, 1+3. So this knee is super fast. It's a really good mid, and it goes straight into a very quick overhead.
Fucking
And I want you
hell.
to keep in mind, I keep mentioning overheads because those are the key mix-up tools that he has in his normals.
Right.
And we'll get to his lows in a little bit. So
Now,
this,
when we talk about overheads too, like for those who you know, don't
Overhead, you have to
know
block
that
high,
this
not
is a
low.
move that you have to stand block.
exactly.
They will
Your
hit you
crouch
if you are
block is-
It's a
ducking.
mix-up,
You'll get hit.
basically.
Yep.
So you're always going to be wanting to stand block against
You have to
them,
stand
unless
block
he
it, but then they
connects
can
to
do
low special
lows.
moves
So
that
you want to
I'll
block
show.
low, but then he can get you with the
So I
overhead.
think the forward 4 is just a great tool. Like if you hit it down 1, or if the opponent does something where they're in recovery.
This guy's looking
they're not
strong. I knew he'd be.
punishable, but they're
Well, I had a feeling he'd be
slight
strong.
Recovery. It's a great move to just mash it out. Honestly, when I play Kabal and I don't know what to do, I do forward 4.
Right.
And you really can't go wrong.
And another thing, like I just want this as you watch the combat cast and as you learn with us, I want you to know some of the terminology. So when you say forward 4, like
Forward
people
circle.
play on different consoles,
Or
different
forward
systems.
B.
So the buttons are labeled as such 1, 2, 3, 4. So
Right.
it's
Like you can think of it as the left punch button is 1, then 2, and then on the kicks it's 3 and 4. So
Right.
that's a universal way
Mm-hmm.
for any character, any console.
So when you go online, you go to the Amazing Mortal Kombat Reddit, you go to our Discord, on Twitter, if people are trying to discuss what combos do, you're going to see a
I
lot
thought they
of
weren't going to be
1,
so
2,
mix-up heavy. What the
4,
fuck? This
back,
guy's mix-up
forward,
heavy as
4,
fuck.
to like explain how combos work.
Another notable thing I'd like to show is that a lot of his like classic things, like your sweep, your down 4, your pokes, and all that, he also uses like swords. Like this is actually his down 4, which is awesome. It's almost the start of the range.
Wow.
The start of the round range. A lot of times, just kind of playing the mid range.
You know
walking back
that
and forth as
white
the round
effect,
range,
what happens?
I'll just kind of do
I
this
wouldn't mind him
and
getting rid of
away.
that, you know.
And you can see his sweep actually has. I would call
That's
this
good range right there.
hella
Wow,
range. I think this is hella.
Oh.
Yeah, very, very good range. It's another move I'll just throw out.
What's above hella range?
Hema?
Oh.
You can
one
jump
step
though,
bigger.
can't you, on
Okay.
this game?
His
You
back
can actually
two
do mini jumps and
It's
jump
also great.
over
It's not a
people
combo,
doing
but
lows.
It's kind of a safe, like,
Just get the hell
yeah,
out of here.
Get out. Get out of here. Move.
Okay.
I wonder if you
now
get special
we're
cancel.
Both
doing a
playing Kabal.
Cabal impression. Okay.
And now I think we can show his throws, which are pretty awesome.
And yeah, let's show this.
Cool.
Sorry, that was my sound.
No, I like it.
Oh,
Damn.
that's good.
And I've always talked about this. Throws are so good. You see a lot of them in fights. So the throws really have to
Look cool, yeah.
add color to the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they always have to feel like the character. Because, you know, you watch a lot of tournament games, you're going to see a lot of the throw is something that we come back to a lot. It's an animation, so you want it to be something that's really cool.
Right.
Because people are going to see it all the time.
Yeah, it's one of the best ways to show a character's personality.
Here it is, the
Not
lolly.
to see
Watch.
his wake-up attacks.
Oh.
He uses with swords. It's a huge
Oh, gosh.
anti-air.
Yeah.
That's the
Then
wake up
his
thing.
up 3-1 is a straight poke.
Let's talk a
Oh
little
my
about wake-up
god,
attacks.
there's gonna be so much in this
Great time
game.
to talk about it. So you no
I
longer
can't wait to get
do
my
any
brain,
special
like,
move
stuck
you
on
want
it.
when you're knocked down.
Ugh.
Instead, you have these preset moves that are only available when you're knocked down. So with him, you hit up 2, and he'll do this move, and that's just a wake-up attack. That's
Yep.
the only way you can do it.
Everyone can do it.
And then you have an up 3. So
Now, also notice that it took one
Everyone
bar
has a
of
wake up.
defense and 1 bar of offense
Yes.
when doing.
And
you are both waking up, and you're invincible, and you're also attacking. So it takes 50%.
Now, are
So you
they
can't
both
just keep pressuring.
armored, or is just one? How's that work?
It's a
Great
mind
question.
game.
So you're up 3, which is like your poke.
It's
You
so
just kinda
good.
Strike them. That's fully invincible. But you don't get a lot of damage. You can
You don't
see
get
he
anything
kind
off
of
it.
knocks Sub-Zero away. It's just kind of get off me, get
reset.
some breathing room, right.
Yep.
But the up 2 is not invincible, but it is an anti-air, and it is immune to air attacks. And
Oh,
that you
interesting.
get a full pop-up.
So it's not invincible. Interesting.
So you can
So I
see he
guess-
actually gets a combo.
I
So
guess
the
we'll see
idea
what-
here would be, it's a simple meta of, do you want to do the safe, like just get off me, low risk, low reward option that's fully invincible, and if the opponent respects that, and they try to jump over you to punish it, you go for the anti-air one.
Right.
Mm.
And then it would loop back into not doing a wake-up attack at all, or... you can wake
Frederick,
up,
thank you for
roll
the
forward or
18 month.
back,
You
which
get
is
to keep
actually
come outside.
invincible,
Thank you,
right?
thank you,
Or
guys.
you
Put
can
you in
just
Thank you,
get
man.
up and actually block, and, you know...
Who wants to do that?
Right.
You can
I mean,
roll as
I've
well.
You got all
never
these
seen you
tools.
do
Like,
that.
no.
Right.
Why would I
Use the
do
tools.
that?
When they're on the floor, there's
Awesome.
already like
So
a
I
massive
think
mind game.
that's kind of Kabal's base kit, and I think
It's gonna be
the
proper
notable
back and
thing about
forth,
Kabal
man.
in this game is he's actually, in my opinion, pretty basic and easy to play, which is interesting for him.
Right.
Kabal, like in MK9, was actually a high execution character, and in my opinion, he's not really like that anymore. He's
What
not
do his
like a
abilities
high
are?
pressure, high intensity character. He's pretty simple, and for me, I've always loved Kabal, but I could never actually play him.
Right.
I'm all in on. He's one of my favorite characters to play right now because you're only going to use like 5 or 6 moves, and they're pretty basic. And he kind of has a move list. It's like quick and dirty. Like,
Right.
here's some good mids, here's some good overheads. He has a couple low special moves. What more do you need?
Well, and that's important too. I mean, that happens a lot in the games we make. Is that like there are some characters that like really help the people who are good at.
Yeah.
Is that a command grab or is
very
that a
difficult
string?
things. But like a lot of characters who aren't super difficult to play still fit right in the meta, and
Yep.
it's a good place to start. Like if
He,
you're starting,
he ain't
playing
showing
our
what
game,
the
like, maybe-
enhanced moves
maybe
do
Kabal's a
either.
good place
He's
to
not
start
showing
for you.
them.
I absolutely think he'd be a really good beginner character. If you just want to use your kind of, from this range, I just kind of do safe stuff and don't really commit to anything. Make the opponent, if you want to think more about the opponent making mistakes than what you're doing, I actually think he's a great character for that.
Also has a lot of really badass specials. So if you're a guy who's not a tournament guy and you like
He ain't
sitting
shown
down
any
with your
enhanced.
buddy and having a beer and playing the game and want to slam some hook swords, this is the guy you go with.
Show us his
Sounds like a
abilities
good reason
enhanced.
to get into his special moves.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
So,
Okay.
I don't know if anyone noticed in the trailer, Gas Blast is gone.
Well, it's just totally
Ah,
different.
that's the
Right?
insta air
It's
thing.
gone.
All right.
There is no more instant air gas. There are now
Well, yeah.
hundreds of MK9 players that are just
Crying.
Is that thing
Well,
with the
there's a couple
projectile?
Kabal players that are crying.
Right.
However, Kabal's still a pretty awesome zoner. His buzzsaw is now very, very fast, and it's actually a gadget that he throws. Because I've always wondered, what is that? Why does he lift his leg up and summon a magic buzzsaw? It is now Black Dragon tech from the Black Dragon Black Market he got from Kano. And he actually throws it like a straight projectile. It's a good recovery.
I wonder if you can
pretty
combo off
good.
that.
And the amplified version actually allows him to go into Nomad Dash. So
Right.
you can't really react to it. You gotta guess that, like, you gotta be pretty confident it's gonna hit. But if he's trying to trade projectiles and you're sure it's gonna hit
Shit!
because it's
But
significantly
if it's
faster
in a
than most
combo, you could do that,
projectiles,
right? Or maybe
you
not.
can go ahead, go into it, and actually get a combo conversion. So that's pretty cool. He also has other buzzsaw moves that you can use as abilities. Like, for example, this loadout, he actually has the low one back. And the amplified one is super cool because he throws 2. It does really good chip damage, and it takes up a ton of space, so they actually will have to jump.
Right.
I also in this loadout, because this loadout is based on, now amid the 7-3 thing is, this is my
Katana's way.
MK9
Yeah,
style
kinda,
Kabal. He actually has a air straight one that he can do.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that'll
And
be
he
the
can
one they
amplify
go
that
for.
to actually recover super, super fast.
Right.
So, you can use to cover the ground, and they're going to have to inch their way in, and they're going to want to jump, and then you can go on and do the air one and try to
Zone,
catch
I
it.
know.
If they jump,
I
you
don't
can't you
know
just
what's the
catch
fun
them
of
with a
zone.
dash too?
Of course, you can do
Right,
the
so I mean-
classic, one of the best MK3 anti-airs.
Just stay back, right? Like, it's awesome.
Now, we've already talked about the Nomad Dash, but now we'll show it clearly. It's everything you want about Nomad Dash. Now, normally, he actually cannot cancel it. That's gone too.
Right.
We've
Oh, later, yeah.
Like a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
the pressure like that
Very late.
is drastically toned down in the default move list. But if you're someone that really loved it and you do have the execution,
Right.
you're not like me, you don't want to just, play the bare bones, you want it, that is available as a customization item. So he actually can still do that.
So all the people that were asking is Dash
Yep.
canceled back for him.
Yes, it is. You can make that loadout. If that's your bag, you're someone that's really good at that, that is available. It'll take one of your slots, so you got to think clearly, But if you want to make this MK9 style loadout,
You can.
you're free to do it.
And you can't do it.
Yep. Another special move he has that's actually back, and I think is very cool, is his hook slam move. And this is your combo ender. You're going to pretty much end all your BNBs with this. It does good damage. If he amplifies it, it's super fun.
Oh.
He messes with amplifies.
Whee! Yeah, that's super fun.
Okay, so we don't get anything. It's just
Another
more
one of
damage.
his key special moves is in this loadout, I gave him. Wait, I just forgot what I was going to show.
Number
Wait,
3.
I think we're done with this loadout, actually. I think we're ready to go to the next one.
So
Okay.
check out another loadout.
All right, so I made another loadout. This is the personal one that I use when I play.
Okay.
I'm very happy with this loadout. So first off, this is actually a default move that he didn't have in the last one.
God, he looks
He
well
has an
different.
air saw that goes at a downward arc. In
Right.
The last loadout, I had chose to go for the straight one, but normally he uses the down one, which is the one I prefer. He can also amplify it to recover very quickly. And this is pretty awesome, not just for zoning, but it's for faking jump-ins. Like, you can kind of pretend to jump in and actually change your jump arc.
Yeah, that would be strong.
You can stay safe by jumping down
So
quickly.
this is what you were talking about earlier.
No
too,
mask,
the,
yeah.
The human, awesome looking skin for him.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely love the coat, and I think his not being burnt up is
Any
cool.
interesting
And
jump
since we're
force? I don't
playing
think
with
so.
timeline Stuff,
I
we're
might
able to do
check
that.
it,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's not really
He
on
was
my
actually
radar.
meant to be in Special Forces Unburnt, and there's like art for it and everything.
Hold
but
on a second.
Oh.
Steve's lore minute.
That's right. That was actually cut. So, and he wasn't Shaolin Monks, but this is the first time where you can actually play him Unburnt.
Good.
I'm very hyped for that.
All right.
Cool.
Also in this loadout, I gave him a low hook sword,
Damn.
which not only looks cool, this complements all the overheads I mentioned earlier. And this is the way that I like to play Kabal. High risk character.
makes
Like,
sense.
I'll do this, and normally he has the overhead. Mm-hmm. I'll go into the low hook.
Yeah, that's what it makes up is. You have to
Or,
block high
as
or
I
low
said, this is an overhead. I'll do this.
into the low. Yeah.
So the low hook is
That's-
punchable. He's going to get bodied if they block it, but he keeps the opponent guessing all the time. I also am a big fan of doing that instead of the overhead, and that's going to not only keep him guessing, but it's going to keep him
what's the
focused
enhanced?
on the normal he's doing.
Does the
because
enhanced
he'll
juggle?
throws.
Right.
And then lastly in this loadout,
It didn't show the enhanced
I
it.
gave
Maybe it
him-
doesn't.
the parry, which is in MK9 he kind of had a parry because EX dash is so OD, and now we've actually just given him an actual parry, and it's very strong. He can actually hold it as long as he wants, and he gets a full combo when it hits. So he
Damn.
gets a super effective parry. So in my opinion, the way I play him in this loadout is he's a 50-50. It's a high risk 50-50, but he still opens you up all the time, and then he has defensive options with the parry. So
Right.
he tries to get
The
in
roster
close,
so far:
then he starts opening up with
Cabal,
overload mix-up.
Kano,
If you try to attack him, you can
Sonya.
parry the full combo.
Can I say something?
Uh,
And Derek, maybe you'll agree.
is it
Okay.
Sonya? Now I feel like I'm
Is there
saying that
anyone
wrong.
faster at going through the training menu than Steve?
It is Sonya.
No.
Well, I do it all day
Raiden,
long.
Like,
Scorpion,
it is-
Sub-Zero,
impressive.
We got Ken Morris
Baraka.
coming in here a little bit. They can't hear you. Yes or no? Is there anybody faster?
Oh, and Scarlet, right?
Ken- think she's faster.
Oh my gosh. Can we get 2 screens side by side?
Time it.
And
For
get-
the
yeah,
worst
I just-
stream of all time. To
So-
see who can do that fast.
Should we
Yeah,
do
there's-
one more loadout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
I
one
think so.
prepared.
I think we owe it to people.
We owe it to people? Okay. So this is a gas-based loadout. All the loadouts are thematic. I don't mean that. I mean...
Oh, got you.
Okay,
Got you.
okay.
Yeah. I'm a child. I'm sorry.
All right, so I gave him 2 different gases here. The first is this new version of Gas Blast. That's actually like, it's like a string ender. It's a safe way to end his strings if he doesn't want to commit to anything.
All right.
Jared, please.
Sorry,
And the
sorry.
amplified version is very neat because he spits out even more gas, and this gas cloud, if the
Says,
opponent's in it, they will take dot damage, and jumping is disabled.
Oh, okay.
Do you have
So-
to say dot damage or just
Shit.
say dot?
Damage over time.
That's
You're
like
right.
that's
it
like
should
saying
just be-
ATM machine.
Right.
Right.
So this one you can kind of use when you're focused on the mid range with his back one string. You can
That'd be really strong in the
spit that
corner.
out, And now the opponent, they're either going to take the damage or they're going to continue to stay out. So
The people might use that for corner
It's
pressure.
respirator too.
yeah.
That's really cool looking.
And then I also gave him this high mobility gas jetpack, where you can see and you can control how far you can control how far he goes. And this is kind of like you'd see an air dash in an anime game, or actually maybe even a wacky Injustice character. And you can use it to go into cross-ups, go over them.
Could you cancel into special moves from it?
He can.
Oh my goodness!
Which I really like to do that too. You can use it to go over projectiles. Like if he's going to do Ice Blast, you jump. If you're going to land doing it, Gas Blast over, then do the air saw. It's
When you showed that you could cancel that, I want Matt Burke to put Burke Cam on and show what he did when he saw that.
Oh,
There we go. That was really good.
right.
That was
yeah.
good.
So
Burke
with
can.
the custom variation system, these are three very different play styles. You can play a high mobility keep out version where he can close the distance really quickly. You could play an MK9 style OD zoning version with the cancels if you have the execution. What I love is Scarlet has some similar stuff. I'm not smart or talented at playing complex characters, so I can avoid them. But the option's still there if you are. Or you can play the very basic 50-50 version that I like to play.
Right.
It's pretty much
That's
up
where
to
I
you.
would be too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Crushing blows. You want to talk about those for a second?
Crushing Blows is one of the new systems you may have seen where it goes into the X-ray effect and the opponent has their jaw broken or whatever.
Right.
So the way it works is every character has 4 to 5 moves that can trigger it, and conditions are what triggers it. For example,
It's kind of like
the
brutality.
uppercut one,
The
everyone
brutality.
has. It's universal, and that is if you counter a high attack.
Right.
For example, if you try to throw me and I uppercut your throw, will get Crushing Blows.
Or if you do
those
like
can
a
be
high
combo
kick or whatever.
Yes, they have different they do insane damage, and they often lead to DOT or a different reaction, maybe a stagger, or in the case of an uppercut, a combo.
Now there is, I believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. In the options, you can choose how those fire off.
It's Sub-Zero
The
go.
choice
I don't
is you
think so.
can make it so that you can hold the button down to trigger it, and that would be if you don't want to, because you can only do them once per game.
Because we actually had this happen, you and I, where you beat me in the
I
game.
think it's fine, Tom.
But you did one at the end of the round where you probably shouldn't have done
I
it.
did Sub-Zeros to kill you, but you were going to die with the slide anyway.
Right.
So losing that bonus damage was actually a bummer.
Because he could have used that the next round, but he lost it because
Right.
you can only do them once it's been done.
Now,
Once
does
it's
it
been
cost
done.
meter to use them?
It does not. If it's an amplified move, it costs you the meter,
Sure.
but it does not cost you any other resources,
Right.
which is one of the cool things about the resource system in this game. So one other example, since we have Kabal on, would be... Actually, I'll do it this way. His 4-2-2-4, if it hits as a punish, will go into the Crushing Blow. So the meta here would be simple. When you block his slide, do you want to cash in and do your Crushing Blow? And you can see, it does a lot of damage. Like,
What's the normal damage? Yeah.
all right, that's the normal one. So it's a pretty significant
80,
increase in
80%
damage.
more.
And you also can get stuff, again, like longer knockdowns or
Right.
all different kind of goodies. They are definitely much, much better than normal version.
Right, and so and that's what I've loved. Like, there's a bunch of things we've talked about. Like, for instance, the fatal blows.
Right.
Do you want to use those at this time? Do you want to use them later?
Yes.
Same with the crushing blows. Do you want to use them now, or do you want to save it for later? Like, are you closing out a round? Is that the most important thing to you, or are you bodying and you want to save it for later? You know, like, there's just a lot of questions there.
Almost every aspect of the game that we've changed since the last game plays into that. For example, I said it during the reveal.
Yeah,
event,
Cabal
the
looks really
combos
good. He looks
are
like he's got
pretty
good
toned down.
zoning, and he looks
That's
like he's
not to
got
say there-
some
I saw some people.
high
"Oh, there's no
risk,
combos, it's like
high
one on
reward.
one." That is not at all what I'm talking
overhead
about. but
low
they are
mix-ups.
generally shorter. It's more resources and more dangerous to try to go into combos. But the damage that's not there from combos as much is back in the form of crushing blows or
Right.
fatal blows and all that. But exactly as you said, you have to think about when to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the way I view it is to get the big damage, it's not hard to do. It's hard to think about what to do. When do you want to do the crushing blow?
I mean, I think the moral here is don't worry. There are plenty of combos for me to drop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's going to keep happening.
It's
So-
interesting with the crushing
I have
blows,
never
and I heard
seen
this
you
someone else
actually
say this,
do
and it's kind of true.
Sonya's back
Um,
1, 2, 3, and
People are going to be using more
every time in the
strings
game.
because if some strings are linked
Yeah.
to crushing blows, people are going to be using strings
Yeah,
that they wouldn't
that's
usually
true.
use. So you'll
So,
see
classic
more
Tyler.
I
blowing me
think
up.
strings
the
in
final
the
thing to
game
show Ball would
instead
be
of just
fatal
seeing the
blow,
same
because
one or
it
two,
fits.
which are the most
Yes.
optimal
I'm
ones.
a huge fan of
It's
it.
interesting.
So, if you didn't see the reveal event, the way it works is when you're at 30%, you can see the life bars now.
Right.
You gain access to Fatal Blow. and you do it just like you've always done super moves in our game. Both
Barrel
shoulders,
Blow's going to be
my
such a
deck.
clutch thing, man.
And you get a one-time use.
It's-
So you gotta make
it's
it
going to be
count.
like the very
Once it
noob-friendly
hits,
thing
it's
as well.
only gonna hit once. So let's go for it.
Oh, you did it.
Is that... Well, that'll be full screen, won't it? Damn.
Yep.
I've seen it 800